Ladies and gentlemen, the show we've all been waiting for, Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present REP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts, Kim Purvis and Allison Robinson. Live every Thursday night on Spreaker, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Be sure to check out their Facebook page, REP Paranormal Busters.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to another night of REP Paranormal and Friends. Tonight we have a special guest. We have Haillie Vanderlinden on here with us tonight. Welcome.
Hi.
All right, so why don't you give us a little bit of background on yourself?
So my name's Haillie. Obviously, I am currently 24 years old. I was born and raised Marion, Cedar Rapids area in Iowa. I am currently a full-time student at Mount Mercy. I also work a full-time job as a clinical examiner. Hobbies, I guess I like to read. I do paranormal ghost hunting now. Just like hanging out with friends, I guess.
Awesome. So, why don't we talk about... Okay, so here's a little bit of background. Kim and I actually met Haillie when we went to Farrar a few months ago. Now, I know, is Gina your cousin? Or
yeah, they're fourth cousin. I'm actually not really sure. Gina knows it. I don't.
You just know you're related somehow. All right. Oh, this we started going.
Not good.
How was that? We have I don't know why it started off good, and then they said we had a little bit of an echo, but like, that's why we haven't been using Skype and Spreaker together, because we've been having so many issues with that.
Oh, weird.
But yeah, it is so weird. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have to go through Instagram. Okay, now they're saying it's good. So whatever I did, it's working now. So woo! Darren in chat said it's the devil asshole. So anyway, so we met Haillie when we went to Farrar. We took a group of people there that hadn't,
Never
been there, and had never investigated before. Haillie knows about the paranormal, but this was actually kind of your first real big investigation.
Yeah, I had done like a few houses and stuff a few years ago. I did home investigations and stuff, but never like a place, I guess.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your trip to Farrar?
Sure. Farrar was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to everybody else I've talked to. It's definitely a good first-time experience, I would say, in a big place, because we were talking about possibly Edinburgh in the future and stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I was ready for that at the beginning, but Farrar is definitely a good place to start with.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of activity there that we kept getting, and there's definitely some negative energy, but then you can also tell there's the children that are still there, and that type of energy. I'd say the overall ambience of the school is actually rather sad, depressed rather than angry, I would say. But
Yeah.
it was a interesting night. I mean, when I first started off, I was really nervous, actually, and, like, it took a second for me to actually start asking questions and getting responses. But once I finally got comfortable, it was a lot easier. And then when we were in the auditorium and went behind those doors, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the more scarier things of the night, where it was like walking back there, your whole body got hot and you felt like you were melting. And then I couldn't stop shaking. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I know. And then you get dizzy when you hit a certain point, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. And then, like, I had that uncontrollable urge to, like, touch the door handles. I was like, you're like, don't touch the door handles. And I was like, but I need to. Like, I feel like I physically have to, like, make an effort here to not touch these doors.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about those doors. Like, I've never felt that before until that night. It was so weird. And then, I kept, having that urge like you did. And so I finally went up and grabbed it. And lo and behold, I see this man, like, I have this vision of this man, like, and his whole, like, top of his body is on fire. And it was just really weird. And that's why I was like, when you said, I just got the urge, I'm like, don't touch the door.
Don't touch the door.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah.
And, like, Gina brought a ball back there to see, if maybe, because, we kind of got dizzy, to see if, there was, like, a slant or anything. But there really wasn't. I mean, I know the last time we went to Farrar, Kim and I went to Farrar not too long ago with a group of people, and I went behind those doors, and I still got that really dizzy feeling. I didn't touch the door. I stood my ground. I didn't touch them, but I still had that feeling of, like, burning and stuff back there. And we did notice that, the doors are kind of slanted at an angle, but we're not really sure if that's what caused us to get really dizzy, because even another gal walked back there and she's like, whoa, like, instant dizziness. So.
Yeah, and I know the next day Gina took some pictures in the morning, and, like, half the pictures she took were blurry, and it didn't make any sense because they were burst photos.
Right.
And the first and the second, like, the ones in between, or one in the middle was blurry, and the other two were normal. So it was very weird.
Yeah. It was very.
And then going to the principal's office, that was actually really upsetting, I think, for everybody.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff we were getting just from the little girl, and then Gina had to stop because it was like the little girl just kept saying help over and over again.
Right.
It was very scary, for sure.
Yeah, it was really weird. So, Kim and I got a story to tell you about the principal's office.
Yeah, we like the principal. Darren likes the principal's office.
Yeah,
too.
Darren's in chat. He was there. But it was just Kim and I in there the first time. And we had the Ovulus, and we had the K2, we had our music box and stuff in there. And we were kind of going on that line, how, we thought the principal was kind of a dirty man, So we were talking about, his nudies and all this stuff. And
the only porn movie I could think of was Debbie Does Dallas,
and we're, like, sitting there, and she opened up certain drawers. That K2 would light up to red.
Oh.
Yeah. And then she'd be like,
wow.
oh, you don't like this? Oh, yeah, and stuff. And she's like, oh, what's this? And then she's like, oh, it's a rubber, and then balloon, because it was a balloon and stuff like that. But then, like, the different tapes and stuff, she would, start spouting off stuff, and the K2 would just go nuts. And then I went into that, that little room that's off to the side in the principal's office.
Yeah.
I went in there and I started going through the filing cabinets, looking them, because there used to be a whole bunch of, like, DVDs and stuff in there. I'm like, oh, what'd you do? Decide to hide them because you knew I was coming to look, see if you had your porn stash in here and all this and da-da-da-da-da. I left that room and I shut the door and I sat in the chair next to it.
We shut it tight.
It was shut tight, and that door is hard anyways.
Yeah. Well, yeah, even when we were there, you were leaning against it and it didn't open.
Yeah, exactly. And we're sitting there talking about that stuff, and then I said something about, because it was, I don't know if it was lighting up or if your music box or something had happened, and
No, we were here knocking.
Oh, yeah, we were here knocking coming from that room, okay? And I go, did I piss you off, Afa? And then it sounds like a little kid go, or something like that, and all of a sudden that door started to rattle and shake.
Like it was coming open.
Like it was going to fly open on us. Yeah.
I don't. Wow.
And then
I don't know if
Allison
I-
screams and gets
I don't
me
know.
to scream.
I don't know if I would have been like, all right, we need to go, guys, or be like, let's talk some more.
And we just continued to sit there. I'm like, why am I still sitting by this door?
Yeah.
We never left.
And then we went back up there later with Darren. And he sat where Kim was sitting, and he messed around with the desk and stuff, and her music box was going off like no other. Like, it did not want him there at all.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because it hadn't gone off all night
Yeah.
till he comes into that principal's office and it wouldn't shut up.
Oh, let's see. We do have a question in chat. I don't know. I'm not used to using a computer here. From Nick. He's asking how many investigators were there. Let's see. Who did we all have there? It was you, me, Kim, Gina. You, me, Kim, Gina,
And 2 other ladies.
Donovan, and then there was 2 other ladies, right? So
Yeah.
it was like 7 of us there that night that Haillie was with us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, like, what other kind of feelings did you get? I know what did you think when we did that first initial walkthrough? Like, what kind of vibes were you getting? Did you sense anything?
Yeah, the first initial walkthrough, it was still light outside, so I wasn't on edge, obviously. So some of the feelings I got were actually kind of surprising me because I didn't expect to feel anything, or even because it was light out. I was like, "There's no way paranormal stuff happens during the day." Ha ha ha! No. But we looked through some of those classrooms and walkthrough, and it was fun. I don't remember what number it was, but we like walked into it, and it felt like you were walking through fog. It was a very heavy room, and I don't think we ended up investigating that room later in the night, but just like it just felt really weird. And honestly, I felt watched throughout the entire place. No matter where I was going. And then the basement, when I went to that crawl space, oh my gosh, I could not make it to the end. And honestly, I don't know if I could today. That is probably one of the more, like, there's definitely a lot of energy in there, and it's not positive by any means. So that was definitely one of the more scarier parts, I guess, is like actually halfway going down the crawl space, and then just in the basement. See, the gym really isn't, I don't know, I didn't really notice anything with the gym.
Yeah.
But the principal's office, it was just like eerie feeling in the principal's office for sure.
He's a dirty man.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get.
The auditorium is almost, I would say, probably the most childlike activity was in there. Even like during the day was more like childlike, you know?
Are you there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were still talking, if we lost you, because it kind of went beep for a second, and I was like,
no, I'm right
here. Okay. Darren said that, well, when we went this last time, he had to actually do a solo in the boiler room.
Oh, wow. I could not.
Yeah, he did it. We had a camera on in there, and people watched him.
Camera with the DVR, and we made sure he was never alone, so we had an eye on him at all times.
Yep.
So yeah, when we were in the boiler room that night, whatever it was, really liked.
Oh yeah.
Donovan, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I
really liked him to the point where he was like, I kept remembering him like reaching over me. I was like, I want to keep investigating. I want to get more and more.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm really freaked out. I need to leave. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not going anywhere.
You're on your own.
I'm here.
Yeah, because didn't it keep touching his leg?
It did. It kept touching his leg, and then it made a sexual comment, and then he said he felt something like touch his butt.
Oh, yeah.
So it was, whatever was down there really liked him. Really liked him. Yeah,
I remember that, and he was just getting all uncomfortable. I'm like, if you need to leave, we can, like, leave. But...
Yeah. And then the stick figures that we found, I can't remember what that one device is called with Connect.
Oh, yeah.
The weird stick figure things. Oh my goodness, I wasn't able to see them because they were crawling up me and Donovan.
Oh yeah.
Going back and rewatching that, I was like, what on earth was that? Like, that's so creepy.
We love the Connect.
Yeah.
Let's see. Darren has a question for you.
Okay, I think this is what it's supposed to say. Is what was your favorite maybe equipment you used? I'm assuming that's what it is that he's asking.
So I would say the favorite equipment we used would definitely be the necrophonics for sure with Gina, just because it's a more clear, concise speaking way. I don't know. I really enjoyed that a lot more. And then personal favorite is the Obulus. So that's always been a personal favorite of mine. I don't know why.
Sometimes that thing, it just spouts off some weird stuff sometimes. Like,
yeah, there were some times it did spout off some weird stuff. It was kind of quiet at Farrar.
Yeah.
We definitely got some K2 hits a few times. And then in one of the school rooms, there was that ball that lit up. I think you and Kim were outside.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was me, Donovan, and then two other ladies were in asking questions in one of the school rooms. And Donovan came in and was like, Haillie, can you help me find some water? And I was like, yeah. And I get up to leave. And we hadn't had really any activity except for the K2s going off.
Right.
And we're like, okay, well, we'll leave if you touch this ball. Well, I get up to leave. And, like, I mean, I'm, like, getting ready to rush out the room. And this ball moves. And it didn't really make sense. So we, like, kept replicating me running up and down the aisles to see if it would get this ball to move. And it would not move.
That was nuts. Yeah, somebody said, was it like going in like a circular motion, or how was it moving?
Yeah, so it looked like, so if you would place like a ball on a table and like kind of rub your hand over it in like a circular motion, it would say something similar to that.
Wow,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, because they were like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, looking on a mission for water.
Yeah, that was when Allison was having her difficulty.
Yeah, that's kind of when I had to be put outside.
We had to ground her down.
Yep. Get me in that dirt.
Yes.
Darren wants to know, how did you feel about the tree? Like, I think we walked around that tree outside. There's a big tree out there. I don't know if you ever.
I don't know if we told them the history.
I don't know if we. I can't remember if we told you the history about that tree or not. By the kind of by the playground.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So there you go, Darren. We failed. We forgot to tell her about the tree.
Yep. That was our fault.
Next time, you guys will have to tell me.
Yeah, we'll have to show you the tree and everything. It was awesome because one time we went there and we did like a little kind of like a ceremony type thing where Coyote Chris did his
Coyote Chris Sutton is a shaman, and he did his drum ritual, and
Holly
from the Southern Gypsies did a flute thing ritual around that tree, and
when they do it, usually a lot of things kind of stir up. And I know one time they had like a whole bunch of like lights flashing and stuff and whatever, but this time it was a little bit lighter out, so we didn't quite get that effect, but you could tell there was a different feel to
it's called the mother oak tree, but it's an elm tree, but they call it the mother oak. And it watches over the school and stuff, because if you notice, after that windstorm we had, it damaged everything around Farrar but that tree in Farrar. It saved.
That's kind of weird.
But all the other trees had damage.
Yeah, they did.
But that big one.
Yeah. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Excuse me. Let's see. There was something else I was going to ask you. Now I have a brain fart. That's always happens. I usually try to write stuff down, but I just haven't lately. Oh my gosh. It just totally lost me.
Angie lost sound, then she's got to come back in.
No worries. We have quite a few people in chat tonight, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Ask me questions.
Yes. See, I told you she wants questions. Come on and ask the questions.
I'm a little catty.
I think that's what I was going to ask you. You kind of went into it about the whole ball thing, because Kim and I had left that room because we heard noises out like in the hallway. And so we went out to investigate that, and then somehow we just ended up in Mrs. Martin's room, and then we heard about the ball and stuff moving, but
yeah, I got yelled at because we weren't doing live feed, but we had to take care of Allison.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had to get outside.
But the noises were sending us another way because there was nothing happening in that room. So me and Allison were following the noises. They were leading us out. Then all of a sudden stuff
started happening in there for you guys.
Room.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want us in that room.
Earlier that day too, I think in that classroom, there was like a really weird feeling of closets in the classroom. Because I remember even Donovan saying like these closets were just so like a weird eerie feeling towards them for sure. Not really like the room didn't really have an eerie feeling, but the closets was like weird.
Yes. Yep.
Explained.
All right. So we have another question from Nick, and he wants to know, what do you love most about the paranormal?
I definitely would say that this is challenging. I don't know. I think it's like the possibility of it all is probably my favorite thing. That like we could communicate with the other side, and that there is something after this life for sure. I think is probably my favorite thing about the paranormal. And then also it's just very fascinating to solve things, you know, and this is a way, and how mysteries and stuff, you can kind of figure it out and solve things out, like at Velisca and stuff, how they've pretty much narrowed it down because of these ghosts, like paranormal hunts and everything. So I definitely think that's really fascinating.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, Darren wants to know, how do you feel about the SB7 Spirit Box versus the apps?
So I don't know. It's challenging for me because I've only used the Spirit Box a handful of times versus the apps. So there are some apps that you really have to be careful about because it's not like, I mean, it's just like a simulator. It's not going to really say anything. I think Necrophonics is pretty good. We got a lot of clear answers, especially with Gina and everything. And I actually ended up going out and getting Necrophonics for my own house and got some really clear answers here at my own house. So I like the Spirit Box myself as well. But I think with the Spirit Box, you really have to go back and listen to what you're doing versus Necrophonics. You can kind of get an answer on the spot. Because I remember using the Spirit Box back when I did like home investigations, and I never really could understand what they were trying to say in that moment until I would go back and listen to our recordings and be like, oh my gosh, that's what they were trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
And it definitely took a hot second for me to understand.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so another question from Darren. What are your views on the flashlight game, and do you use different colors?
So I don't know if we did the flashlight game.
No, I don't have flashlights. Yeah. I have candles.
Yeah, we use candles.
So yeah, we did the candles. I've done the flashlight. I've never used other lights, but I've done it in the past in like home investigations, and I personally like it. I know some people don't because they say there's a shortage in it or whatever, but there's been a few times where I've gotten some really, really good answers with the flashlight, like turn it on for yes, turn it off for no, and I'll ask a question and it'll immediately turn on, and I'll say, okay, you can turn it off now, and then it immediately turns off. So I've gotten some really, really good answers with that, so I think it works. Much like with the candles.
Oh, yeah. So
you think even at Farrar, we left one of the rooms and then we had the candle partially. We had the candle waiting, and then we came back in and the candle was on, and we're like, who turned this on?
Yeah, that was in Mrs. Martin's room.
It was just weird.
Yeah,
that was after Allison had her spell, and we left it in there, and you guys said it was on when you guys went in.
Yeah,
because Gina was questioning everyone if someone turned it on.
It's like, nope, we were outside. We did not touch it.
Yeah.
Well, I've had that flashlight go off. I set it all over the building and come back. Well, it's on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put it on stairways. I've taken some and laid them down in the boiler room, and they've come on. We've watched them come on our DVR.
Oh yeah, the one in the boiler room and that little coal chute where you didn't like that area.
Yeah.
We set a candle down there one time. It was one of our like second or third investigation of that place, and we set one down there, and it shows it coming on. Nobody's down there. It shows it coming on the DVR, like in the middle of the night. So
wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I get a lot of we get a lot of that responses with that at my mom's house too.
Yeah. But see, didn't even a couple candles turn on in the safe room, and then we were all like making the joke of like, no, you can't do that. This room's safe. You can't come in.
Yeah, they did. I do remember that. Yep.
And then we were like, wait a second, no.
Sorry. There is no safe room in that building.
Yeah.
I know.
They like that room too.
Yes.
We just call it the safe room. That way we don't spook everybody out.
Yeah, as soon as those lights turned on, I was like, you're not fooling me.
Okay.
We got another question from Darren here. I'm just getting.
We got one from Angie too.
Oh yeah, she asked if we used the music box. Yeah.
We used it the night Haillie was there, and we didn't really get it to do a lot, but it chirped. It would try to play, but it never did a full revolution of playing. But when the night Darren was there, it wouldn't shut off.
Yeah.
Because we were in that one room before me and Allison left, and we had it sitting in there, and it would go chirp, and then we'd ask another question, and it'd go chirp. It wouldn't make the full revolution.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here's a question from Darren. What are your views on using psychics during an investigation?
I personally like it. I mean, I've talked to Jen a handful of times, actually, and then obviously just with my own personal beliefs that I can sense certain things, and then even with Allison, I truly think that that's a great idea, and I definitely have seen where on shows and stuff where they use them and then they're able to get more information now.
We lose you? I think we lost her for a second.
Oh, yep. Hang on a second.
We're gonna get her back on. Just a minute. I need my music box here so we can play music.
Yeah, you don't want to. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Woo! We're back on it.
Yeah, they didn't like my singing, so.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Where was I? I don't know what you guys heard up still.
We were talking about your own personal experiences and how you can feel things.
Yeah. So I definitely think that it's a good idea, just because you can really get good information, especially with the feelings and stuff like that night in the auditorium. I probably wouldn't have spent as much time focused on those doors if we wouldn't have said something, and we could have missed something just because we wouldn't have been there, or known those things. So I do think that it's a good idea to use psychics or just people who can kind of sense things. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which my personal belief is that everybody can do it. It just takes practice,
Yeah, because I mean, before you even came on investigations, you've kind of always sensed and felt things.
Yeah. See, since I was a little girl, I realized a lot of the things that I felt and stuff were not normal, and I would definitely say that it's more like an empathetic, intuitive type of feeling. But yeah, I would my mom always used to make jokes because I would tell my mom who was calling before the phone actually rang. So I'd be like, oh, my uncle so-and-so's calling, and she's like, what? And then the phone would ring, and she would notice that. Or my grandpa used to have a houseboat, and I would go on the houseboat, and I would point at things and be like, oh, don't you see that angel over there? And everyone would be like, what are you talking about? Are you seeing things? But yeah.
Oh, I thought it went again. I thought all of a sudden. Nope. Okay, I can hear you now.
Are you still there?
I was like, it just went silent all of a second. I'm like, did she go? Did she leave? Did it leave again? What happened?
No, I'm here.
Awesome. So, how has it been though? I know you had a couple days that were a little different for you after you left Farrar.
Yeah. So, had to talk with Jen a little bit of attachment from Farrar, but an attachment from some issues I've had in my own personal life.
Mm-hmm.
So like coming home from Farrar, I was actually really, really worried that I would have something follow me because I have had that happen before and I didn't know what to do. This time I was much more well equipped for if something did happen, and I was definitely on guard for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got home from Farrar and I was really stoked and excited, and then I hear all the EVPs and everything we caught, and I'm excited, and then I start like noticing I'm hearing more footsteps, like I feel like I'm being watched, and that it really doesn't help when I sleep. I like started having these really vivid dreams and nightmares, and usually that's like a first sign for me that something is like manipulating my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually recently talked to Jen because I actually have picked up an attachment from someone else's house that I know.
Oh, yeah.
Accident. I was not even investigating their house, and they just saw me and attached, which was not okay. So I'm actually getting ready to do another sage cleanse in the house.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I just did. I went through and did a sage cleanse and then just filled the space with like love and light. So
very nice.
Yeah, it was good to be prepared, but also very like had to be very, very conscious of it for sure.
Right. Let's see here. We have a question from Mama Deb in chat. Do you prefer knowing history or going in blind on investigations?
I like going in blind and then finding out the history.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I know the history, I am more likely to make assumptions.
Right.
And go like searching, and I would rather just go into it blind and think, oh, this is kind of what happened at Farrar. Was I went in with a completely blank slate. I did not. Gina gave me all the tools to do research, but I was like, nope, not going to research. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to get there and I'm going to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, I went on this giant attempt to research.
Yes, you did.
There's so many records on that place. Oh my goodness, it's so hard. But yeah, I definitely would like to go in blank and then find things out afterwards.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want to know a whole lot about it. I want to, get my own feel for the place.
I know, that's why I'm like holding off on like anything with Edinburgh or stuff like that, because I know we've talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to research or look at anything until I do it.
You think the boiler room is scary at Farrar? Wait till you get to the basement of Edinburgh. Kim's over here with her tiny hands. She's got these little tiny plastic.
Oh my gosh.
You guys can't see it, but
sorry, you guys can't see
but she can. So okay, we have. Remind me of those little hands that they do on Saturday Night Live, where she has the little hands. It's like
these little hands fit on your fingers, so I'm helping.
Yeah,
I'm giving her a hand.
All right, we have some more questions here. Question is, have you ever dealt with doppelgangers and mimic spirits?
A bit.
You what?
Whoa.
Are you there?
Still there?
Yeah. All I heard was whoa.
A little bit. I was like, hello?
Oh, I said whoa.
Hello?
Did you hear the question?
What was that question again?
Okay. Have you ever dealt with doppelgangers and mimic spirits?
Yes. Say, I don't know if I don't think we experienced anything at Farrar, but I definitely experienced that at my old house. Definitely had a spirit mimic a childlike. As I was in middle school around that age, and definitely was like, oh, it's just like a little.
Up.
Now she's echoing.
As I got older, I became not a little child. Yep.
Oh my goodness. I tell you what, there is something here that just like with the sound, I don't know. I am so sick of technology.
It's this house.
It's this damn house.
It's this house, I told you.
Probably. Or, I mean, could be on my end too. I don't know anymore.
Well, the way things are going for us, it's my house.
Yeah. All right, okay, another question is what are your views on astral projection, and has it happened to you?
So I think astral projection is a real thing and can be a helpful tool for like personal growth, and if you want to meet your own spirit guides, angels, like really whatever you believe in. I don't actually know if I ever have. I definitely vivid dream, and I think I've accidentally astral projected, but I've not been able to master it myself. And it takes a long time to master, and I'd say I'm just a really lazy person, so I really have trouble like just meditating every single day and try to do it. But I do think astral projection is real and can be a really good tool for personal growth as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Oh, and then Nick was asking, I think we talked about this a little bit, but you have been involved in residential cases.
Yeah, I have. That was a few years ago. There was one that we had that is where I got a really bad attachment. I definitely would say that was like a demon attachment, and I really had to work very hard to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
But after, because that was my final one, so I did like, I would say 5 investigations before that, and then after that one, I was so scared out of my wits. I didn't know how to handle it. There was crazy stuff happening at my own house that I definitely brought home. Like doors slamming. We had a mirror that just kept falling. We could not explain it. Like it was like one of those like cheap Walmart long mirrors you would buy.
Oh yeah.
It kept falling off the wall, and I couldn't explain it. And there was just a lot of weird things that happened, and then. I guess finally what happened was my dad actually moved into the house and it like hightailed it out of there. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely probably around the time when I like started accepting and acknowledging that I do have like a little bit more sensitivity to these things versus other people, because I would have friends come over and they'd be like, oh no, I don't feel anything. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like there is something in this room. And they'd be like, no. And I'm like,
okay. Excuse me. Gosh, my allergies are terrible.
It's been bad here too.
Ugh. Yeah. I think I have
if I had to pick out of the two though, out of the house investigations and like places like farrar, big buildings, I would definitely choose like the bigger places, because the smaller homes are pretty easily figured out, and I would like to say like a lot of the times it usually is a family member that's still around, or someone involved with the house that doesn't want to let go. So the bigger places you get a lot more different types of spirits, and not only different types of spirits but different types of beings and different kinds of stuff like that you really get to dabble in. So
yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm asking in chat because what the heck? Okay, so Nick says to me that there's a blue light anomaly that says hi.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking him.
What?
I have no idea. So something wants to talk to me? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see. Because he's in tune with all that too. So
I don't know if I've met Nick yet.
No, he is from Beyond Paranormal. So you need to follow him on Instagram and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's got some good videos.
Okay.
Yes. Very awesome. Go subscribe. See, I'm plugging away for you.
Allison was just on his show.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Sunday,
yes.
But
yes.
I couldn't speak, so I didn't get to go.
Yes, we did a Skype meeting with him and some great other investigators, and it was a fun time. It's on YouTube, so it was a good time.
I couldn't talk, so I was homesick.
Kim was sick, so I had to do it alone. My cat made a couple shows in the video, but
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I know there was another question here somewhere.
I know.
It's hard because usually I use my phone to scroll through, so I'm using the computer, and I am not good with the computer.
Let's see. Darren had another one, I think.
He does somewhere. Oh, okay. Here we go. What are your views on holy water, or is it just water?
I think holy water works, but I also think that with any water, you set an intention to. Like, if you set something to be a clearing type of energy, it'll work. I think holy water is a little bit different because there's a lot more intention that goes into it rather than grabbing a glass of water and saying, oh, this is pure water.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more intention in holy water where you actually bless it and everything, but I think they work.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I actually had my stepdad bless my room with holy water.
Oh, yeah.
I was so scared. That was back when I was first figuring out and seeing things, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would see a shadow run across my room, and I refused to sleep in my room, and he was getting sick and tired of it and was like, all right, we're blessing your room with holy water.
Man, I wish my parents would have done that for me when I was younger.
He was I was really lucky. He was very, very supportive, and anytime we would talk about certain things that happened in the house, he was always like, yes, if you're seeing it, it is real. You are not crazy. Accept it,
Yeah. I mean, my mom, she accepted it and everything, but they didn't really do anything, I think, to help me cope with it. Because, I had to sleep with a freaking flashlight, or, I was really little, and so my mom would have to, stay in my room till I fell asleep. I was terrified. And then finally my dad's like, because I think I was, in 2nd grade or something, he's like, okay, that Snoopy tackle box you want, if you want it, you're going to have to sleep in your room by yourself for a week. And then we'll get you that tackle box. I really wanted that tackle box. So I finally did it, but I was still scared shitless.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I had to sleep with a nightlight still, but it's oh my gosh. Yeah.
So now we go and try our new equipment over there now.
Yeah, so when my parents are gone away on vacation or whatever for the weekend, we go over there and try out all Kim's new equipment.
Oh, that's great.
My mom's like, I want you to go do it, but I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah. I definitely thought that Gina was like, we should come do something at my house and just see, because I've gotten some good answers just on the necrophonics.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, she's gotten some things going on at her place too.
I know.
And so, and I've got another place to do also. So that's another place we got to work on here. Hopefully soon before I'm laid up. It would be nice to. I don't know. I might have to go.
I was thinking about this weekend. We got nothing next weekend. We got nothing going on.
Oh, yeah. One last hurrah before I'm laid up.
Before she goes for surgery.
Yeah.
And then I'll be running the show, and it's like, I screwed something up.
That's why we got to get the sound going, so that way I can do it from home.
Yeah.
Until I feel well enough to move. All right. Let's see here. We got more questions.
Yeah, one from Darren here.
Okay. What are your views with shadow people and sleep paralysis?
So shadow people terrify me. I definitely believe in them. I actually think I've encountered only one, and it didn't follow me or anything like that, but definitely one of the home investigations, we had some very dark matter that anytime we talked to it, all it talked about was us dying, and it didn't really care about us being there except for death, and how it was just very, very I've definitely dealt with demons and dark energies, but I've never had an entity before just consistently be I like death, I want you to die. And so I definitely believe in shadow people. I don't think they're we're ever humans. I think they're just complete negative energies. No idea where they come from, honestly. I don't think I've done a lot of research on them because they scare me very deeply. And then with sleep paralysis, so recently I actually went to a sleep doctor because I experienced sleep paralysis very quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I have no sleep disorders. So I actually now believe that sleep paralysis is probably something like messing with you or just trying to get your attention, because I did like a full sleep study and they're like, we have no idea why you're experiencing sleep paralysis. This doesn't make sense. So yeah.
Let's see, Nick's got
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Nick wants to know, what form of protection do you use?
So I do a lot of grounding. I use grounding, or I'll burn sage, or just like incense that I usually put some type of like sage in it or around it. I also just use like some clear crystals that I get like a shop here. I also do like a lot of different crystals and just that type of thing. Otherwise, I use white light, and I'll just meditate and kind of draw white light around myself. Recently found out you're not supposed to use white, so now I use like a more darker, like a greenish purple color to kind of cover it so nothing ever comes running to me, which I realized all these years I've been doing white light. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another question. Do you get channeling issues?
Not yet. I've been told it's gonna come my way here eventually, but I have not had anything. I don't think I have had any channeling issues. I don't even know if I've actually channeled yet, but I have been told that it's probably gonna hit me harder than I think. So.
Well, you saw Allison at Farrar,
and that was mild.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my gosh. Times where like I meditate and stuff, and I feel like I'm going through. Like, I just feel like I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Like in a black room, and I've been told, oh, that's you starting to channel, but then I freak myself out and I just pull myself right out. So. Yeah. I don't know.
That's good that you can do that.
Yeah, we had Cynthia with us the last time we were at Farrar, and she could tell Allison was getting ready to channel, and she had Allison removed from the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Allison was channeling, and then I like grabbed Allison's arm to try and give her comfort, and then like I immediately like just felt a lot of the feelings Allison was feeling, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. I talked to Jen later about that. She's like, yeah, that'll happen. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what to do. I was losing my mind. I was like, is that normal? Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
I gotta deal with it every time we investigate. I gotta keep an eye on her and get her out of the room.
Yes. I know. I say as soon as Donna came in the room, it was like, we need to get water for Allison, and I was like, oh my gosh, is it happening? Is it going down?
It was.
Oh, Angie, who was in chat earlier, she got a fairly decent.
Oh, it took a while to bring you back.
Yeah, but I think the longest was with Cynthia, maybe.
Yeah.
At Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
But I got everybody on speed dial now, so. Help.
Yep, that's right. Yes. Excuse me. Let me see. Anybody else have any questions? You guys are doing great with questions tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, we got to ask Darren's famous one.
Oh, yeah. We almost forgot.
Got to ask the running question.
Yep. Here. He keeps a poll on this. Okay. So what is the one thing in this world you would not want to be haunted? What object?
What object I would want to be haunted?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. An object? I guess this is a challenging question.
Nothing's wrong on this one.
Nope, it's not.
Me, myself, probably. I don't want to be haunted.
I don't blame you there.
Am I considered an object? I don't know.
Well, you could be.
Yeah.
Somebody could think of you as an object. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to be haunted.
I picked
my dog.
Yeah, your dog. Nobody wants a haunted dog.
I got one.
Yeah, Kim's already got one. That's nuts.
Yeah.
He bites me all the time. It's my dog, but he hates me.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think I picked car for mine when I've been asked that question. But like one of my favorite responses, and I say this every time, is okay. We had Michelle Belanger on. If you don't know who she is, you need to look her up. She's awesome. She's been on Paranormal State, and she's been in Portals to Hell.
Yep.
And she's like a psychic medium, witch, vampire, everything under the sun.
Oh yeah.
And you know what her answer was? Was a butt plug.
First one and only one so far.
I was like, wait, what?
Then she changed it, but I don't remember.
Then she changed it, I think, to a garbage disposal or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
something.
that would be horrible. Oh my.
Toilet is a running one, too. A lot of people don't want their toilet to be.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. I just giggle at that every time. Like, I cannot help that.
Yeah, I guess my mind didn't immediately go to that. So.
Yeah. I know. I was just shocked. I'm just like, we had kind of it was a pretty, we were having a good talk. Like, it was like, all whatever. And then all of a sudden that, and I'm just like, what?
It just went a different direction.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, we have another question here. If someone placed a Dybbuk box in front of you, would you open it or walk away from it?
I don't know. Let me think here. I would be terrified, genuinely, like terrified. I'd probably open it if I'm honest, though. I'd probably be scared at first, and then I'd open it like an idiot. Because I'm that person that's like, oh, the big red warning flags don't go in there. I go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd, have to get the church involved to bless my house. So
yeah, no kidding.
Call the priest.
That's right. Yep. Gosh.
We had something interesting come through at the Redemption Center this week.
Oh, what was that?
Ouija board.
What?
Doesn't have the thing, but it's just the board. It came through in a bag of cans.
Oh my gosh. What the
Somebody
heck?
didn't want their Ouija board anymore, but they didn't send it all with it.
Yeah. Hope they said goodbye before they gave it away.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so now Jose put it in the office, and I'm going, I get to look at that every day, sitting there.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Oh, we have another question here. Man, they are on a roll tonight. What are your views on paranormal shows today?
So I watched Ghost Adventures from the start when Nick, Aaron, and Zach were just the little beginners that they were and where they are now. Mm-hmm. I personally enjoy them. I think probably my favorite one now is Dead Files. Wholeheartedly love that show, and I really do find a lot of truth in it. I think they're very similar to what we do. I don't really think that there's much difference. I'm sure that they play on different things where we get excited about different stuff that I feel like they would, but because they're looking for more of the hard evidence, they're looking for the door slamming and that sort of things, whereas we really do focus on the EVPs and those types of things. But I like them. I think they're enjoyable to watch. So,
well, you better tune in tomorrow night because they're gonna investigate Joe Exotic's place.
Oh wow, that actually sounds really cool.
It's like, oh my gosh, really? Okay, I might just have to watch it for that.
Yeah, you have to.
But first I have to watch the Hocus Pocus thing that's coming out. I got a ticket to the Hocus Pocus. They're coming together for one night. It's like they made some new Hocus Pocus thing for one night. So I gotta watch that first because it's only available at 8:00. And it's like, oh, yeah, gotta watch that first. So I might have to. Yeah. I love Hocus Pocus. And they got back together for this one night thing or something. I don't know.
I never did get into
what?
Nick and them.
Oh yeah.
Or
I did at the very beginning. I did.
I watched one show at the beginning, and I never really have liked it.
Yeah. Nick is asking if anybody's doing any Halloween investigating. Unfortunately not. My daughter is running at a state cross-country meet. She made it to state, so she's going to be running on Halloween.
I know, we were
Exciting!
supposed to go to the Cambry, but she made it to state, so we didn't get to go to
so
Cambry.
We were going to go to Cambry, and before that, we were actually supposed to co-host an event at Sumner School, but however,
with the COVID
and everything else going on, that was nixed for this year. So hopefully maybe next year we get to co-host that, because that would be awesome. It's a place we've never been, and I'd really love to get in there. So yeah, it'd be great. Everybody's saying, nope, not me, not me. I'm assuming that you're not, unless you do an investigation of your own.
Say we got Halloween party, I guess.
Ooh, there you go. Fun. Fun times.
Heck, if I make it back from being out of town in time and you make it back from Fort Dodge and we're not too exhausted, we could still go investigate.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we probably could.
We still could go investigate.
It'll probably be about 8 o'clock when I get home.
I don't.
Yeah.
It'll be probably around there when I get home, so.
Yeah, buddy. I got a place we can
go. That's one thing, it's so close. We don't have to very far to drive.
Don't have very far to drive. All right, let's see. Any last questions before we start wrapping things up? Anybody? So where do you want to go next?
Definitely either Villisca or Edinburgh.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of those two. I've always wanted to get into Villisca, and I've been invited to a few things, but I just didn't really. So they were like little small town, like friend group type of things, and I'm like, if I go to Villisca, I want to do like a real investigation, not like a little.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have the money for that one.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That one ain't a cheap one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not.
What is it now? Almost $500 for 5 people.
I think, yeah.
Or 6 people.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I think they're all done in chat. So before I wrap things up, I'm going to give shout outs to everybody who was in chat.
I think I got everybody.
Okay. We had Kim, we had myself, we had Matt, Shay, Darren, Angie, Nick, and Mama Deb. So thank you everybody who was in chat tonight. And thank you for all your questions. That was awesome. Thank you to everybody who was listening but was not in chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'd like to thank our guest, Haillie, for being on tonight and talking about her experiences at Farrar and other paranormal experiences. And next week, I believe we are having a group on Haunted Kentucky Paranormal. I think they're a newer group. So we're going to have them on and find out what they're all about. And then on the 12th,
we got Kelly and Chris.
We have Kelly McCarville.
Traveler's Moon.
Yep. And Chris Nielsen on. So stay tuned for that one on the 12th, too. That one's going to be another awesome one. And then on the 19th, if I'm not too doped up on medication, we're going to have Carl Johnson on our show. So you need to check him out, too. Pretty awesome guy. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Haillie, for being on. And we're going to have to get together for an investigation again real soon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to REP Paranormal and Friends. Be sure to check out Kim and Allison on Facebook at REP Paranormal Busters.